And we are live. Hello, everybody. It's Trisha Lee, and I'm super happy to be here with you on part 20 of our 20,000 part series on disruptive technology. I'm really excited about tonight's topic. We're going to be talking about advanced robotics. It's not something that I know a ton about. However, I do realize that robotics are becoming more and more of the industry standard for many simple tasks that maybe at one time were performed by a group of humans. Now we have the ability to use robots to do said simple tasks. And I think that as the technology continues to develop and advance, it is a very disruptive technology because it absolutely has been able to change the way that we do so many things. We are starting to slowly get these robots into our lives doing chores and stuff, so that that dream that we all had watching the Jetsons of Rosie the robot, you know, going around and cleaning and cooking and doing all these things for us is more closer to a reality now than ever before in the history of humanity. I know that they have the Zumbas now, which will go around and sweep and basically vacuum your floor for you. So they're not quite as advanced as what we were promised by the Jetsons cartoon. However, I think that when you get into more industrial applications, the robots get more high-tech than what we have available for household use at this point. However, as time goes on, it's just going to continue to be more and more of advancements in the robotic technology, and it's super exciting to see that some menial and maybe not very exciting or fulfilling jobs are able to be fulfilled by robotics. So that just frees people up to do more of the things that we love to do, which is not so much putting screws into some part for some product that is being manufactured in some factory or something like that. So Larry, do you have some opening thoughts to share about advanced robotics as a disruptive technology and where you think that they're going in the future for both industry and household use?
Well, you know, I think we're all kind of waiting for the arrival of the Terminator. I don't know why, but that was probably one of the biggest.
Well, it looks like Larry kind of froze up on us there. So, yeah, the Terminator, right. I don't really think that that's where robotics are going. However, I suppose, and
Okay. Okay.
there's a lot of background noise over on your end, Larry. But yeah, you cut off there just right after you mentioned the Terminator.
Yeah, I know. I keep having some issues with my internet connection up here in Canada. I thought I was hoping that we would start the hangout today with the something to do with the video of our solar heat collector, and then we talk on how it would relate to advanced robotics. But you know, it would be something to talk about. You know about this, Trish, but I don't think anybody out there also knows of the Sort Serpent, which is something that's going to be appearing in the future, and it's going to be advanced robotics. And what it's going to be doing is a system. It's going to be involving recycling. I don't want to go too deep into the topic, but it's going to revolutionize the recycling industry, and it's going to be fun, and people will actually be able to make money from their recycling. That's right, because recycling has value. And so that's something that one of our companies is involved with implementing in the hopefully in the near future. It's not too far because of the advanced robotics that we have. And as I was mentioning at the start of this hangout, I wanted to have something to do with King Sunshine Solar System because believe it or not, we have advanced robotics that are used actually on a lot of other applications for advanced robotics in a minuscule manner. What we're using with our equipment is it's not Terminator. It's nothing that heavy duty. It's a simple tracking system which uses electronics and a computer IC chip or something like that, which actually makes our invention, our solar heat collector, makes it follow the sun. So I think I'm still on here. I just got some kind of weird bubble picture going.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something else joining.
And just mute yourself out because, yeah, you got a lot of background noise going over there today. Busy place. So, going on what you said, it's kind of a no-brainer that the great place for robotics to be used is in all these different areas where people don't want to be involved. And I think what you were talking about, Sort Serpent, just a general description of what we're talking about is that we think that it would be really, really awesome to use advanced robotics for sorting basically our garbage, for being able to take out all the recyclable materials using advanced robotics, because honestly, no people want to be exposed to that kind of workplace environment. It's very smelly, like with used food containers and milk cartons and stuff. It's just a stinky, yucky job. Nobody wants to touch that stuff or really be in the same room with it. So it's kind of a no-brainer, and we have a really awesome strategy for using advanced robotics to sort recyclables out of refuse material. And at some point, if we start taking some action on that front, then hi Brian, I can hear you. I don't see you yet, but he's talking to his dog. So anyway, we definitely see that advanced robotics would be awesome to use for the sorting of recyclable materials out of the trash, out of the garbage collection. So there's also, I think, I don't know, there's kind of been a controversy surrounding robotics, maybe not specifically the advanced robotics that we're talking about, but robotics in general, and the idea of robots has always been kind of a threat to people in a way. There's a lot of talk and stuff about how, you know, robotics could replace humans in certain jobs and taking our jobs away. And my whole take on that idea is that, yeah, but there are jobs that people don't want to do typically that they're using robots in. However, I don't know, I think a lot of our culture, especially in North America, is very resistant to change. So when they see something like, oh, they're going to bring in robotics, they're going to take all our jobs, oh no, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, is kind of this mentality that exists. And so instead of focusing on the benefits to humanity that these machines could provide for us, there tends to be this kind of mentality, like going back to what your comment about the Terminator, Larry, that, oh, with these robots, you know, they might turn against us, they might take over, and my whole thought of it is like, no, they're only going to do what we tell them to do, like what they're programmed to do is what they really should only be able to do that. I don't think that the artificial intelligence technology that we have is anywhere near the point that they can that would enable any kind of artificial technology or robots to really do anything that they were not programmed by humans to do. So I think another idea that I had for a hangout in regards to disruptive technology was to do a hangout about the drones. But aren't drones really basically advanced robotics just up in the air? Or I don't know how they're related, but definitely I think that it would be worthwhile to do a hangout specifically on the drone technology. And I don't know if the drone technology fits in with what we're talking about here with advanced robotics. What do you think about that, Larry? Oh, we lost Brian. That's too bad.
Well, as I was saying at the beginning of the hangout, the advanced robots are not. I guess it's not robots; it's robotics that are used with the solar heat collector and how it tracks the sun and tells the motors to move. That's very similar to a lot of the other advanced robotics that are out there today. They're a lot of them involve much more computer technology than just a solar tracker. But it's interesting on how a solar tracker can actually see the sun and tell whatever it wants through motors to follow the sun is quite unique. And so when it comes to advanced robotics, it's not that as advanced as some of the human assist advanced robotics that there are, because we know there are robotic suits, or they're almost like a suit that you can put on and use it robotics to have your body movement, lift things like a forklift, and do a lot of chores and tasks like that. And so it's it's happening now. And so this is quite a disruptive technology because, as you were saying, I don't think it really puts people out of work or anything like that. It actually creates more work because it's just the work is a little more, I guess, a little more defined. So when you use advanced robotics, for example, lifting heavy equipment and things like that, so jobs that a forklift would do, and you have an actual human being actually doing the work in a robotic suit, that actually is helping the person from possible injury, stuff like that. So it's, in a way, it's kind of disruptive there, but I think it's just a matter of more of a helpful application. It's actually difficult to see how for myself, I find it difficult to see any kind of robotics that would be detrimental to the human race at this point in time, other than fantasy movies showing us stuff that is, like I say, it's fiction and fantasy. So I don't think our race, the human race, would want to go in that direction with any kind of technology. I think using robotics for stuff like the Sword Serpent and other areas where people or human beings should not be in contact with, and definitely applications where you have biohazards or any kind of hazardous material is definitely a job that's more suited for a robot. And they've been doing that for quite a few years, using different types of robots where humans should not be in the environment where the robot is. It'd be also good to mention that there was disruptive technology with advanced robots back in the day, like probably 70s and 80s, where the auto manufacturers in Detroit started implementing robots to do a lot of the menial tasks that other people had to do. And by incorporating robots in that application, it actually helped improve business for the automakers, because it simply the robots could do menial tasks over and over and over and over without fatigue, without generally without incident. Where if a human was involved, there was risks of the human, the worker being in contact with certain equipment could be hazardous to the worker's health. And so by
So
incorporating
back to our disruptive technology and how advanced robotics are helping us. Actually, without the technology advancement as far as robots go, I don't think that what we're trying to do would really be possible. So we're kind of lucky that we're doing this during the time that we are, when the technology to make it happen exists. Of course, Fresnel lens and Peltier effect discoveries were made like over 100 years ago, I believe. Those technologies have long existed. However, the ability to take a Fresnel lens and track it against the sun, that would not have been possible, like even going back 10 years. The main advanced robotic part that we're using is this electronic eye. And what it is, it's a sensor that sees the sun in the sky and tells the motors to move the machine. So the automated movement of this Fresnel lens tracking the sun is very much linked to advanced robotics. And it would never be feasible or even make sense to have a person standing beside the machine moving it all day long, because you would have to move it you know, millimeter by millimeter, inch by inch, and it would just be ridiculous to have a person performing that.
That'd be a boring job.
Yeah, definitely. That's so. Yeah, definitely. I don't think it really exists so much today, but I think that when robots first came on the scene, there was a lot of thought that computers and robots were going to take all our jobs, and then, oh my gosh, we might have to go golfing or have fun all day. Like, oh no. But no, people were concerned about losing their income. And we find the same thing, I think, in regards to what solar power and alternative energies are trying to do. There are people that totally are almost offended by the idea of clean energy, because they make their living in the oil patch. And so it's threatening to them to think that we could have electric cars and not have to burn oil to travel up and down the road, because that, like, really, that whole idea would put so many people's jobs on the line. However, the way that I look at things is that all those jobs would be replaced by probably better jobs involved in delivering and maintaining clean energy industries. So, but
I was just wondering, Trish, is your video off? Because we're not getting a video of you, we're just getting audio.
No, it's on. I can see myself on the screen, so maybe just you're not seeing me. I can see myself, so I'm assuming that our viewers can see me. And if not, hopefully they can at least hear what I'm saying, because that's what's really important, is the words and what we're talking about. The topic is what's most important. So hopefully people can see me. Larry just dropped off, so he probably can't see me, but hopefully you all can. And so, yeah, I just I think it's really interesting how they this awesome technology, this amazing technology of advanced robotics, which will improve life for humans all over the world by doing jobs like vacuuming that people don't want to do, that's not their favorite thing. Being able to have these simple machines called robots do it is such a great thing for people everywhere. And then some people want to take it and twist it, and they make, I think, as early as computers and robots came into existence, and the technology started to develop at that early of a point. I think in the 30s or 40s, people started talking about how this could somehow blow up in our faces. There was, I remember in high school reading Bradbury stories, and he was, he might still be around. Actually, I don't know. But he wrote a lot of science fiction um, stuff, I believe, and he had a couple, at least one short story that I remember, where it was these robots that people had built that came after them. And it was kind of like the same as Larry mentioned, the Terminator idea. So it was this whole thing of, oh, well, these robots that we build, we'll make them too smart and eventually they'll turn against us and it's going to be like horrific. However, that hasn't happened. So going forward, I don't think there's too many people that make that argument anymore. But when the technology, the idea of robots was brand new, it was quite frightening for some people, and they came up with um, these stories and stuff of potential dangers, and none of those have come to fruition. So moving forward, I don't think that there's too many people that can argue against the technology today the way that when it was brand new, people were very adverse to it. However, it's kind of funny because at that time when people were a little bit afraid of the technology, it wasn't really available to your average person to consider having any kind of robotics involved in their daily living, like in their homes. It was just an idea for people at that time. And nowadays, more and more, there's possibilities for actually being able to use the technology in a household situation with these little Roombas. And I think there's a couple other little robotic technologies that are used in homes, but more so in factory scenarios, like Larry said, where there are jobs that are hazardous for humans to do. So awesome that we can use machines that do not have bones that break, that do not have flesh that bleeds, and it's just so much safer and smarter to use a robot to carry out some of the tasks that formerly would have been performed at great risk to human life. So I
Yeah,
think
they do that a lot with. I was just thinking of UXB, unexploded bombs, robots that sniff out bombs. You know, there's been so many people in the past after wars where they have to dig up landmines or search and find landmines that these people were either just killed by landmines while trying to find them or severely disabled by them. So yeah, it's a good disruptive technology that they're keeping people out of those situations. So important.
and moving forward, I can see how advanced robotics will continue to be a disruptive technology. I think I'm looking forward to having many of the daily tasks that I don't enjoy doing being performed by robots. That's like super awesome. I think that ultimate goal is to eventually have like a Rosie type robot, like what we saw growing up. Well, most of us hopefully saw growing up the Jetsons and their kind of robot servant Rosie. She was like the robot maid, and in that cartoon there was all kinds of robots that did all kinds of different things for people, And yeah, the idea of having an assistant like that that could work for you 24 hours a day, and you just have to give it some sort of fuel, and or have it a recharging session for it, and then the rest of the time it could be like performing all kinds of awesome things um, that would free up people to spend more time doing what they enjoy doing, and being able to um, do more productive things and not get so caught up in having to perform menial tasks on a daily basis. Like if I think about a chore like laundry, and although it's a lot better today than 50 or 100 years ago, doing laundry was like an all-day kind of experience where you would have to scrub, and they had the washboards and the lines to hang clothes on, and now we have a machine to do it. But even with the machine, it's still a time-consuming activity to have to gather up, wash, dry, and fold, put away, all that. If we could have robots like folding and putting away and picking up the dirty stuff, I just think, oh wow, that would free up so much time for me. I could get all these other things done. And so there's all kinds of different menial tasks like that it would be really, really awesome to have robots to perform for people. And right now, I think in a lot of industrial settings, there's a ton of jobs that I think a lot of them are actually quite cause trouble for people, because they have, thanks to good old Henry Ford's innovation of an assembly line, they would have people that their job day in, day out was the same repetitive motion, and they would end up having carpal tunnel syndrome, or all these different kind of physical ailments that were caused by repeatedly doing the same motion over and over and over and over again. And of course, when you have a robot and machinery able to do those things, they don't have that same issue with the repetitive motion. They just require maintenance, and they don't break down the same way that the human body can break down when put in those strenuous circumstances. So I just all around see robotic technology as a good thing for humanity, and I'm super excited. I say this a lot, but it's so true. I believe in it so strongly that those of us alive today, are witnessing the most revolutionary time in all of human history. Things are changing for us at such a fast pace and in such amazing ways that it's unpredictable where things will even be in 5 years from now. A lot of the things that have happened in the last 10 years would be unbelievable. Like, to myself personally, 10 years ago, if you told me that I would be on a Google Hangout like this, where people from all around the world could be watching and could come and join in on the conversation all at the same time, I would have thought, yeah, I don't know, I'm still waiting for the Jetson phone, so I don't really think that what you're talking about is possible. But who knew that we would advance from being able to do one-on-one video chats to do it in a group setting, to broadcast it all over the world, to be able to do all of these things all at the same time. Like, it just is pretty mind-blowing, because, definitely 10 years ago, I would have been saying, well, where's my video phone, like they had on the Jetsons show, right, where you talk to people by video. But they never had on the Jetsons, they never had, okay, well, we're going to talk to 10 people all at the same time from all around the world and broadcast it live on something called the internet. For me, because I wasn't even really on the internet 10 years ago, I didn't really know anything about it, I would have been like, yeah, whatever, you're crazy, is what I would have thought if somebody had explained to me what a Google Hangout was 10 years ago. So it's definitely an awesomely amazing time to be alive. There's so many different disruptive technologies that are out there changing the way that we do things in the world and making it a much better place. And something that I thought of that I think may fall under the category of advanced robotics as far as technology goes is the car that Google is currently working on. They have a project where they are creating a car that basically, excuse me, drives itself. So I'm thinking that there's some kind of AI that's going on with that vehicle and being able to do traffic maneuvers for us. I think that that may fall under the category of advanced robotics, that technology of being able to drive a car where we want to go. And then also, wouldn't some of the GPS kind of be considered robotics in a way, because it's like someone talking to you, telling you where to go? It's almost like the idea of what I want in a personal assistant, except not for driving, but just for accomplishing all the things that I need to do on a daily basis. Do you have any comments about the Google car or the GPS as a robotic technology?
Well, I think they're definitely both parts of advanced robotics. There are so many things involved with the advanced robotics that makes my head spin. Inventor Dean Kameron, the inventor of the Segway, I'm a really big fan of his for what he has done in the research and development of robotics for transferring people and giving people with mobility issues and disabilities capabilities by using robotics to almost completely replace limbs that were lost in the war, limbs that have been lost due to sickness. So Gene is really doing some great work in that area, and I think we've invited him to join us in the Google. I don't know if he ever gets his messages, but I think he would be a great person to come on and discuss for as long as he wanted where he thought things were going to go. It's ironic that, or not ironic, but it's strange that I find that so many people, when they think about advanced robotics, they kind of think about robotics or humans as a robot. We do great things, but there are other animals on the planet that can also do great things that I believe Google is also involved in with the four-legged design of robotics. I've seen some video on a news item where it looked like a dog or some kind of headless dog running on a treadmill, and it was a robot. It had a body. It almost looked like a running fat potato. And it was kind of bizarre to watch and think, well, that's got nothing to do with animal. That's purely mechanical and machines. And so, and I think a lot of that technology is coming from people like Dean. If we can get a lot of these people together on something like a Google Hangout, can you imagine the power of these inventors getting together, discussing disruptive technology, and just joining for a chat and saying, well, where should we go with this? And it should be mentioned, the reason why Trish and I have started this Google Hangout is mainly because it's a great platform to put together. What we want to do is establish our mastermind alliance for our company, King Sunshine Solar System. This is a great platform that Google has provided us to do so. And so there may be people listening to this, or maybe people watching the videos as they come on, because we just got started. I believe that that's where this is going to really take us. So we're discussing a lot of these disruptive technologies from A to Z, or wherever you live, and it's really all about the disruptive technologies. And by discussing that, we cover things like advanced robotics. However, if we had the people involved in the advanced robotics, it would be like casually sitting down with a cup of coffee with your friends and discussing some real eye-opening technologies that they could all be working together on. And I think that could be where we're headed globally. Being a patent holder, I've had patents for most of my life, and still filing new ones for new inventions. I think that after seeing what Elon Musk did with his patents for Tesla Motors, I think that talking about advanced robotics, there's quite a few in those electric cars. It could be a sign of the time that may be where we're going to be going with a lot of disruptive technology and a lot of this mastermind. What was the mastermind? I keep forgetting the second part of that phrase, or advisory committees, if you will. It could be where it goes, and if it advanced robotics, what I was going to say about the advanced robotics, to answer your question, is that when you have people focused on machines as robots, you got to really look at guys like Kameron that are building machines. They're not really human machines. They're meant for humans to make use of. However, it's to replace parts. The Segway in particular, I consider advanced robotics because it gets you from point A to point B like a vehicle, and the way it operates is very user-friendly. And it has other products like that as well. And so when it comes to advanced robotics, as a disruptive technology, it really makes the mind think, well, could we be using advanced robotics in places like Africa to develop the land, to develop the soil in this hot, nasty climate, to make the soil fertile, to grow things using robots to feed the people? And so, because we've seen the videos of what it's like farming in a lot of parts of Africa and third world countries, it looks like a freaking nightmare compared to what we do in North America. And so I think that would be a fabulous application for advanced robotics. And I've said this in previous hangouts that, if you're an appliance maker and you want to sell more appliances in the world, well, look at the third world countries that don't have electricity yet, like full-time electricity. These companies with those products should be considering the power companies to work together with them so they can sell the products and everything together. And that's the beauty of the Google Hangout.
Yeah, definitely. My intentions for the Hangout here is to provide a platform for all disruptive technologies to be able to reach out to one another and, yeah, be able to create these masterminds to really help each other with stumbling blocks, which always are just a fact of life when you're in any kind of business, but especially when you're dealing with a new or disruptive technology that is not necessarily does not follow the standard or the norm and is not necessarily embraced by the general population. There's this sort of proving ground that has to occur, and I see with robotics, it's been a slower process, and I think that a lot of the proving of the need and the benefit of using robotics has been slowed by some of these mythical ideas of the technology turning against us, and these stories like the Ray Bradbury story or the Terminator movie and stuff like that, of it being a potentially dangerous situation for human beings, giving up too much control to robots, which to me doesn't make any sense whatsoever. like they're machines. I work with animals every day, so I really understand um, quite intimately controlling the control of another animal that has free will that really could turn against you and do and not obey you and stuff. And I see how it's possible to control these animals that are much larger than I am, that have free will, and yet I'm still able to control them because of the advanced intellect that I possess. And so to sit there and think that a machine, like a robot with no intellect, is going to somehow turn it around and be able to control me, that's just ridiculous in my mind. So people that have that argument, if you're ever talking to someone and they have the argument that oh well, what if they got out of control, I would point out you know, trained animals, like trained elephants or lions or stuff like that. Well, yeah, they can go out of control. And however, there's such things as tranquilizer guns that you can turn onto any trained animal and put them back under control. So I think it would be even easier with robotic technology, being that you could just pull the plug or remove the energy source, battery, or whatever it is, and boom, problem solved. So I think it's a little bit crazy to that humans, some certain segments of the human population, always want to create problems where none exist. And so I think that that kind of the kind of desire for people to create those problems where they don't really exist, to imagine these possible problems that aren't actually real. I personally think that that has impeded robotics technology from being more widely used and um, being more of a disruptive technology than it already is. There is a lot of use of advanced robotics going on all over the world in all kinds of industries. However, I think that we could be using them a lot more in our own households and stuff, except for I think the whole subject has been shrouded with this kind of fear mentality of this AI could potentially turn against us, which to me is absolutely ridiculous because we as humans control the power source or the energy source that would be put into the robotics. So at any time we can just cut off the source of energy and maintain control. That's kind of how I see it. But I do believe that potentially these inventions of problems where none exist have possibly held back the technology from advancing even quicker than it has.
Well, I'm not sure if you're still on, Trish, but I think I'm still on. Not sure what happened there. I had some problems with my connection again. Yeah, so it looks like you're off too. Strange things must be happening out there in the cyber world. As you were saying, what were you saying? Welcome back.
Hi.
I think we both kind of disappeared at the same time.
Yeah, I was talking about how the advanced robotics, I think, was held back by people believing in a problem that didn't really exist, which is the problem of losing control of the robots and that whole science fiction kind of myth that's been perpetrated that this AI could at some point turn against us, which I believe would not be possible or likely, considering that as humans we control the energy supply of any such machine or robot. And also I had mentioned about drones. Do you want to describe how the drones use advanced robotics at all?
Oh, they're really popular. There's so much going on with I think they call it UAVs, unmanned aircraft. And these are basically what they really are is a type of aircraft that is unmanned. And you were mentioning drones earlier, and that's what the drones really are unmanned aircrafts. And so they can be used for several different things. We've seen comedy sketches regarding President Obama and his control of drones, and anybody who is criticizing him, they get blown up. Those kind of comedy things.
So, is it the navigation of them, or how they fly that uses advanced robotics?
Oh, very much so. The way the transmitters works and the advanced robotics really boils down to communications between electronic devices, and so with drones, they can be controlled by several different means. As you know, I've been coming up with some new intellectual property regarding quadcopters, which are a type of drone that are controlled, and I think we're onto something really big with that technology as well, making it safe. And even with the Domino's Pizza started using drones for delivering pizzas. And so that is another type of advanced robotics, which is controlled by, there's several different ways to control those little quadcopters and multi-rotors, they call them. And so, as far as that's a type of advanced robotic, like just like the robots that we've been discussing tonight. These are flying robots. These are robots designed to fly, and they can do more than just fly, depending on what you want them to do. So eventually, what we might see someday is like, and I think this is going to happen within the next 10 years. We're going to see robots that fly, robots that drive, robots that walk. We'll see robots everywhere. And they won't look like, I don't think they're going to look like people. I think they're going to be
No.
things, I think they'll be things like the Roomba. I don't think we're going to
Yeah.
see a lot of people running around on lawnmowers. I really don't see that.
Yeah. They do have the robots I've seen, I believe is in Japan, somewhere in Asia, that are robots made to look like people. And like you were talking about the robot that's made to look similar to a dog. Um, those, I don't think those robots will be all that popular because there's not really a demand or a use for a robot like that. But like a little robot that looks like the Roomba that vacuums your floor for you. It has a sensor to know where the walls or the furniture is to go around and vacuum. Yeah, that's pretty useful for people. People say, oh yeah, I want to buy that. But to purchase one of these robots that looks kind of like a creepy person, I don't know that there's a huge demand for that. I suppose it would be an upgrade for some people that maybe use the blow-up sex dolls to have one of these robots. But other than, it would be a good upgrade, I'm thinking, expensive. But other than that, I don't really see how a lifelike human robot would be that appealing to most people. It seems like it would be kind of a creepy thing to have around. And yeah, as far as having an assistant or whatever that works with robots, I don't think it would necessarily need to have the characteristics of a human to do the tasks that we would require it to do, like reminders of appointments and answering of phones and stuff like that. It would be more along the lines of like a box that contains AI that can do those activities, like really like an answering machine that just would maybe do more extra stuff, like maybe making outgoing calls, and I think that they already use a lot of that AI for telemarketing and different things. Like I think we've all got the phone calls where you answer and you start talking, and then all of a sudden you realize this isn't a person, this is a recording. But they've advanced that technology so much to the point where the recording that's talking to you on the phone can actually respond with a semblance of intelligence to your answers to questions. Like I know a lot of the banks use these, and they'll ask you, is your question regarding your, say, checking account, credit card account, blah, 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 and then you respond with your answer, like, say, credit card account, and it knows the next question to ask. It has like it has its own kind of brand of intelligence, but it's not real. It's the artificial intelligence. However, that's basically where I see advanced robotics going, is a lot more of being able to do some of those tasks that need thought, more so than some of the tasks that need actual physical movement. But it's a combination.
I agree. I think like I keep thinking about these Roomba and what it does. Like I don't know anybody who owns Roomba. I know people locally that have them because we're in the recycling business, and a recycle truck occasionally picks up a Roomba rechargeable battery that was put into recycling. And so I think those people that do have them probably are glad they don't have to vacuum their damn carpet all the time. And obviously they're using it, or else they wouldn't be going through these batteries. And herein lies again a connection to our technology with that type of solar, like uh, the type of robots that actually do lawn trimming. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're like the Roomba, and they actually mow the lawn for you. So that type of thing is
Oh, Larry froze. He's frozen. We're coming up on the hour, and yeah, definitely. This is definitely one of those topics that I've talked about before that we'll have to touch on again because it's changing very quickly. Um,
yeah.
So as I was saying, the technology is changing extremely quickly, and they're adding more products that would fall under the advanced robotic category. And
Mm-hmm.
as the technology progresses and grows and more products come onto the market, we will see more disruption coming from this sector of technology. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
with
think.
that being
Sorry.
so, yeah, I was just going to kind of wrap this up and definitely, hopefully, when we come back to this topic, we have some guests that can shed a little light on more of the future of where advanced robotics will be taking us in the coming months and years as far as replacing maybe
Yeah, we should have some celebrities on soon.
well,
Invite some more.
anyway, maybe not celebrities, but maybe some kind of people that are in the know about where these technologies are actually going in the future. Where a lot of what we've done here thus far has been speculation and just really our opinions, which we find valuable and hopefully are providing some value and insight to our viewers. So we're going to wrap it up for tonight, and looking forward to joining you all again tomorrow to talk about another different disruptive technologies. Did you have any closing thoughts on advanced robotics, Larry?
Well, just check out the King Sunshine Solar Systems website at kingtriples.ca and have a look at some of the robotics that we're using in our solar tracker. It's pretty basic stuff, but it is advanced robotics.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a super, super awesomely fascinating time to be alive. There's so many advances in technology and so many new disruptive technologies that are coming into play in the marketplace. And we're just all so very, very lucky to be witnessing firsthand all the amazing changes and advances that people are coming up with to solve everyday problems. So we're looking forward to continuing with this series and bringing you lots more information and ideas about future and past disruptive technologies. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much to our viewers and to our one guest that didn't quite make it on. Brian, try again. Almost saw you trying to get on the Hangout, but anyway, try and get on with us again. We'd love to chat with you. And anybody else that's interested in asking us questions live on the air, feel free to join us anytime. And thank you so much for watching. And go out there and make it a great day. And if I don't see you in the future, I will see you in the pasture. That's where I'll be again at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and I believe that we as human beings can be, do, and have anything that we want in this life, or we can have everything we want, and I choose everything, and I hope that you will too, because you can. So have a great night, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye bye.